one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from CBS News. A former Loveland, Colorado police officer was sentenced to 17 years in prison for sexually assaulting a child in a northern Colorado park while he was on duty in 2023. Dylan Miller, who was 30, was convicted by a federal jury this last December of depriving a victim of civil rights while acting under color of law. In addition to the 17 years in prison, he was also sentenced to 5 years of supervised release. He faced a maximum of life in prison. The charges stem from an incident at North Lake Park in Loveland on the evening of August 3rd, 2023, through the early morning of August 4th, 2023. It said Dylan Miller sexually assaulted a minor while on duty as a sworn law enforcement officer. His abuse of power and betrayal of trust are abhorrent, said U.S. Attorney Peter McNeely. He's the U.S. Attorney for the District of Colorado. Now, he just made that statement this last Monday. He said, "Today I think of the victim, and I hope she takes some solace knowing that a jury unanimously condemned the defendant's criminal conduct, and the court has now expressed how serious that conduct was with this lengthy prison sentence." He'll do probably 9 years. Miller was fired and arrested in November of 2023 after Loveland Police Chief Tim Doran said Miller sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl at the park earlier that year while on duty. The girl's parents reported the assault the previous month. The Loveland Police Department hired Miller in May of 2022, about 7 months before Doran started working there. Doran says when he began working at the department, he started transforming it to focus on accountability and transparency, something the public was calling for in the wake of the 2020 arrest of Karen Garner. That's the 73-year-old woman with dementia. Remember, they dislocated her shoulder and then laughed at the body cam? The arrest and excessive use of force against Preston Soule, the 2019 shooting of a puppy by an officer, and the department having the second highest rate of police shootings in the state from 2011 to 2019. So he's going to change the department. He said this was a profound abuse of authority and a betrayal of the trust our community places in law enforcement, said Doran this last Monday. Said a 15-year-old girl should have found safety and support from a police officer. Isn't that what we tell them? Go find a cop. You'll be good. Instead, she was victimized. Though federal prosecutors sought 45 years in the case, a lesser 17-year sentence was imposed. Imagine that. Said, while we respect the judicial process, we are sorely disappointed. No punishment can undo the harm caused to the victim, but we remain committed to accountability, transparency, and justice. That was according to the Chief Doran. A federal grand jury indicted Miller in March of 2024, and the FBI led the investigation into the assault. They said the actions of Mr. Miller were not only harmful to the individual he swore under oath to protect, but they also undermined public trust and confidence in law enforcement. The FBI will not tolerate those who abuse their positions of authority. That was Special Agent in Charge Amanda Koljeski of the FBI Denver field office. She said, thank you to Larimer County Sheriff's Office for their participation in the joint investigation, as well as to Loveland Police Department for their cooperation. Miller still has an open case related to the same incident in Larimer County District Court, for which he's charged with kidnapping, sexual assault of a child by a person in a position of trust, unlawful sexual conduct by a police officer, sexual assault with a 10-year age difference, official misconduct, and official oppression, the first four of which are felonies. It's interesting they have sexual assault by a peace officer. They have to have a law for that. He has a hearing scheduled for that case on May 4th. Dylan Miller abused his power as a police officer to target, isolate, and sexually assault a minor in his care, said Assistant Attorney General Harmeet K. Dillon of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. Said today's sentence sends a clear message that the Civil Rights Division will continue to hold accountable law enforcement officers who betray their duty to protect and serve. And again, that's Loveland, Colorado. That's the same police department that dislocated the shoulder of Karen Garner, put her in the jail with a dislocated shoulder, and then went out and laughed at the body camera. Remember? The three idiots. But get back real quick, and then I'm done, but get back to what I said a minute ago. One of the charges was something about sexual assault of a child as a police officer, that. And I said, it's so interesting that has to be a law. Like, it has to be worded that way. Like, it happens so many times. They said, we need a law for this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know.